Early in the morning.
What's going on, the people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and we are back with another video for you today. As you can see from the title, we are talking about Krept and Konan and their decision to open up a supermarket in Croydon. While it's true they've been having some backlash, the title is somewhat misleading because the majority of people, I'd say 90% of people, whatever, 85%, 95%, whatever you want, the majority of people are getting behind them. They think this is a good investment. They think this is a good opportunity for black people down the line, especially if their vision comes true and they have bigger investments in it, greater ownership, and they can start franchising this, that, and the other. But there's a small percentile of people online who view it negatively because they believe the advertisement was a bit misleading. A lot of the marketing around the launch is focused on it being a black-owned business, but we've come to realize that the majority owner of their supermarket is part of the Asian community, an Asian guy, right? So that's where some backlash was coming. So I just want to get a quick video out and give you my thoughts and feelings on this. I'd really appreciate if you like the video, like that, so you can push it out to the wider community. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, or if you like my content, it's free, you can change your mind, press the bell to be notified. Patreon link is in the description below. We're talking about the Rothschilds this weekend. So off the rip, I'm going to tell you now, I think this is a good thing. It's a great thing for Krept and Konan, financially, for profits, also their legacy, their future, generational wealth. Krept obviously has Nala. I'm not too sure if Konan has youths. Has Konan got any kids? I'm not too sure, but this is good for building a legacy. It's also good to have representation in an industry like this. If you know anything about the supermarket industry, it's nearly impossible to kind of get your foot in the door. You understand? While they are not majority owners, apparently they're co-founders and investors, so you can argue it's black owned if they co-founded it. The reality is the majority ownership is an Asian company, an Asian man. You understand? So I think they own 4% combined. Though I did see Krept tweet something about Google what equity something means. I can't remember what he said. Maybe that 4% is flexible. I'm not too sure. Maybe it changes over time. Maybe it grows. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But to the kind of bog standard person like me and other people, we're seeing 4%, right? But it doesn't matter, because if their vision comes true and they start to open their own, they start to franchise it out, etc., etc., this is a great thing. Now, if you know anything about industries in general, no one demographic really owns anything. I don't know too much about Jewish community, to be fair. I know that they're very strict with who they do business with, so maybe they're a prime example. But when you look at who owns these companies, right, they are all owned by everyone, especially Vanguard and BlackRock. Now, I've spoken about Vanguard and BlackRock ample time on YouTube, especially when I spoke about Diddy. Yeah, when Diddy came up against Diageo, fam, BlackRock is the majority owner of Diageo, the same way they've got ownership in Tesco. So the reality is, all these different companies that exist, they're all owned by each other, essentially. Tanks did a video on this yesterday, I think, and I actually watched it earlier, and he actually raised the exact same point as I'm talking about now. So shout out Tanks. But I think he made the point of, the reality is, we have to start from somewhere. You may have an idea, but you don't have the capital to bring that idea to life. At the end of the day, having representation in these industries is a good thing. It's a great thing. It's not like Krept and Konan can just create a supermarket and it's just going to work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to have the support, the infrastructure, the finances of these big players. That's the reality of the situation. Now, obviously, the problem and why some people are a bit annoyed is the way it was marketed, the way it was advertised, especially in a BBC article. It was very heavily implied that it was a black-owned business. Krept and Konan launches supermarket in Croydon. When you think black-owned, especially black people, I'll be honest, black people are often our own worst enemy. But on the other side of the coin is, when we know something's black owned, we may blindly follow it. People want to support black owned businesses. People want that. As soon as we see artists like Krept and Konan getting into a space like supermarkets or restaurants or whatever, we think, cool, that's amazing. Black people assemble. You know them ones there. Let's help out. Let's contribute. But the reality is, of course, a lot of those profits, the majority of the profits, are going to go to an Asian family. Now, we've seen this script before. Tropical Sun, for example, which I believe they sell there, right? But I'm sure they sell a lot of other things that are whatever amazing. But Tropical Sun, for example, that's owned. That's not black owned. That's got Jamaican colors on it. It's got Caribbean feel. That is owned by one Indian Donny, I think, an Asian family from the 1950s. As you can see on your screen, for the people behind those online videos and posts, Tropical Sun holds an unfair monopoly over the UK's Caribbean food market, leaving consumers with limited choice. But perhaps worse than that, the company is not black owned. Ingredients that are so tightly linked to the Caribbean identity, curry goat seasoning, hot pepper sauce, bun and cheese, and whose very packaging bears the same colours as the Jamaican flag, are being sold by someone outside the community. And as you can see, the Tropical Sun story begins in the 1950s when Tulsidas Wadhwani migrated to the UK from India. In '64, he founded a food import business that catered to the city's growing Caribbean community. Operating from a small shop in North London, Wani's Cash and Carry sold ackee, fufu flour and other goods that at the time were not stocked by regular grocers. Now, while it's great that at the time he was importing food that catered to our community, as time's gone on, people have now, I suppose, been convinced that that is a Caribbean owned brand, but it's not. It's owned by one Asian Donny, you feel me? But even look at our own community. BLM, I think Tanks even mentioned this. Well, I know he mentioned BLM, but I can't remember what point he made. But fam, BLM, for example, we all got behind BLM. Black people got behind BLM. Yeah, Black lives matter because our lives do matter. They matter equally as much as everyone else's. White people got behind BLM, put in black squares and that. Fam, only to find out the people who actually ran BLM were scamming us, bro. They were fraudsters, fam. Using people's passion, yeah, for the community. And people's pro-blackness, yeah, they were using that to profit, to make profit. So even our own community is guilty of profiting off of black people's pain, trauma, passion. So it's great to see black people in spaces like this, whether they own 0.5%, 10%, this is still a good thing. Krept and Konan even jumped on an interview recently and they said this.
You know what I'm saying? It's not small businesses that we're jumping into, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Big business.
Big businesses that man's jumping into and showing man that, yo, we can all do this together. Man will go happily shopping at
Tesco, Sainsbury's.
at Audi and Lidl's.
Yeah.
You know, Germans own that.
Yeah.
Put your money in the Hagen
And I'd rather be hungry and someone pass your shop, you know, like, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Happily. Don't even check who owns it. Don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? The 0% own black
it's crazy,
places. Man are just
bro.
in there
It's crazy.
shopping,
Like,
got the ute in the trolley and let's go.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like,
Now, while they may be missing the point that it was the way it was branded that's got people's backs up, they make a good point. They make a valid point that people go into any store, they go into Lidl, they go into Audi, and they just want the best deals possible. They want to get what they can get, and they want it at a cheaper price. Fam, we shop. Where you think you're getting your Nikes from? Where you think, like, this one sweatshop somewhere, fam? Black people ain't owning that. Where do you think you're getting your t-shirts from? Where do you think you're getting your Louis Vuitton from? Black people don't own that shit. So we're very hypocritical sometimes. Man, people do want to pick out flaws in people's, like, successes. Now, listen, I wish them all the best. I've got no ill will towards them. I think this is a great move. I just think they need to look inwards and think, okay, cool, this makes sense why people were a bit pissed off. Yeah, because we've marketed it as a black-owned business. Now, they claim to be co-founders, so you can argue to an extent they are, but I mean, if you're co-founding something, you wouldn't own 2% each. Surely you would own 50% or something like that, you feel me? But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not, I weren't in the boardroom meetings and that. I'm just happy to see them giving back to the community, and I hope that this is the start of something great. Either way, they're branching out from music. They're successful rappers. They're branching out and they're leaving a legacy, generational wealth. So I'm here for it, man. So shout out Krept and Konan. Man, seen them enough times live. I even saw them at Glastonbury. I'll see you lot in the next video. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay vigilant. Peace.